everybody. Welcome back to Strange New Show. Keith and Mike watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'm very excited to be here talking with you today because we are going to talk about Season 3, Episode 6, The Selhat Who Ate Its Tail. This episode is Selhat, but I'm excited for it. How you doing, Mike?
I was going to say thanks a lot for inviting me on the show today, but you stole the joke, Keith. These shows, I have to rock the Pike's bike. A lot less pomade and a lot more ready-made from the bed to here.
It's natural though. You've got that natural poof.
The guy, I went to the barber yesterday, and he was like, "The usual," and I was like, "Yeah." I've been there twice, so I'm not sure who he thought I was. But this
it could have been anything.
This is the usual. Welcome, everyone. Keith, you might recall, I think it was last week. Who knows anymore? We live in a bizarre time continuum.
We do indeed.
I said that I had either heard or expected, I think I heard that we might be flirting with that we might be doing the practice in that the last season of this show would be the sort of pilot of the next show. And you were like, I hadn't heard that. If this episode isn't an indication of that, I don't know what is.
Well, it certainly seems as though we are doing beginning the 3-season handoff, because we're clearly setting up a reboot of the original series, which I don't know how I feel about, but you know what? It's happening. A lot of things that I don't know how I feel about are happening anyway in this world. So,
let me say this without giving too much away. I'm not too much of a hot take, if you will. I will say that last week, my memory of the Kirking of it all was more excited about the prospect of rebooting the original series than I am after this week. Now, does that mean I didn't like this episode or not? We'll find out.
Interesting. Yeah. Hot take, sir. Hot take.
That said, they're all hot. We know they're all hot.
This is an extraordinarily attractive cast, top to bottom. There are no people who are not attractive on this show, for sure.
Well, that's the future. The future is hot.
The future, apparently. For multiple reasons, we will not be a part of it.
Yes. And our future will also be very hot, apparently.
You mean hell?
I meant more global warming, but I guess...
Oh, that too.
One and the same.
I think you specifically, you're in my future. It won't be attractive, but it will be hot. Wow. Okay. So here we are. So, so I'm excited to get into this episode.
Clearly we started with Trivia this week.
We're already skipping all the segments. All right. So, so we are now more than halfway through
the home stretch.
Season 3. Home stretch already. We're going to get through less than half of Deep Space Nine single season during the entire season.
Seems like only yesterday we were complaining about doing this.
And the day before that, and the day before that. All right, so The Selhat Who Ate Its Tail aired on August 14th, 2025, nay, 6 days ago, for those of you counting at home. We're in the about the episode part now.
Great.
See, if
our neurodivergences are colliding. Yeah.
I know, right? Autism versus ADHD. Live on a Wednesday, whatever day it is.
Executive dysfunction? What the hell is that?
It's like too much or too little. There is no Goldilocks on this show. I'll tell you that. All right. So, like I said, aired on the 14th of August in 2025 if you're watching this in the future, which by definition you'll have to be because this won't be live for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
The top song continued to be the Golden Huntrix, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Ami K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, of course.
Sure. The top movie continued to be Weapons. Coming in at $25 million. Very profitable, those horror flicks.
It's a good movie. It's a lot less horror than you'd think, that movie. When you see it, I'm curious.
Oh, Well, okay, so all right, tangent. So Jillian and I have begun Keith Jillian 2025.
Did you guys watch Bring Her Back, which I recommended? It was this kind of summer's messed up horror movie that's very sad.
No. Oh, that sounds terrible. No. We have a criteria.
Okay.
For Keith Jillian, and that is, it has to be a series that runs at least 3 movies. Bonus points if it's from the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
Double bonus points for, the
boobs.
Boobs is the word I was looking for. So we've come down on 3 different series to watch. So we're gonna watch the Ring trilogy.
Does that include Ringu?
You know what? It probably should.
Yeah, with captions.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's a really good point. I think that we're going to add that to the trilogy. And the other trilogy that we have that we've landed on is the Slumber Party Massacre series.
I'm unfamiliar.
From 1982, a Roger Corman extravaganza.
Okay.
Which is we watched the first one, and wow, it is exactly what you expect, except for written, directed, and produced by women.
Okay.
I'd love to say it's feminist, not so much, but it's an event. It really is something to watch. So it is not about being good. It is about being fun to talk about while you're watching it. So
hey, men don't have to corner misogyny.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I don't know how we got on that. Oh, the horror movies. Whatever. So yeah, if I'm curious, folks out there, for your Halloween, because it's August. Halloween begins in August here for sure.
Well, according to Home Depot, it does.
What's your rewatch? Because we did the Jason movies last year. We do the Jason and the Halloween at least once every 3 years. But this year's a wild card, so we're gonna look at some new franchises. Gotta get your
Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown on there.
It doesn't have any boobs.
Huh. You don't know what cut I'm watching.
Well, enjoy prison, Jeffrey.
No, it's. I see what you did there, but I meant when you hear that wah 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 wah. That's me and the adults saying, "Can show me your boobs."
It's just the teacher, but isn't the teacher always off screen? So it's just a blank screen with and you're imagining what's happening.
Yeah, man. I'm 44. It's easier these days.
I'm so sorry, everyone. How did this happen?
Hopefully that didn't make the episode.
That better have made the episode. This is the best. This is the best moment we've had on this entire series. Whew. All right. I'm going to reference it 3 more times throughout the episode.
Yeah,
so
just so I have to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So now on to something serious. Mm-hmm. What was happening in the weekly world news headline from 20 years previous? Folks, we found that Garden of Eden.
Oh, the original apple.
Right? I mean, I think it might be a little mushy by now. But who's to say? Who's to say? I believe we have seen this. This is one of those stories that shows up in the weekly world news headlines like every 6 months. But they keep finding it. They just need to save
those bullet points at the top are my favorite because they're just general shocking words. So all new, shocking, bizarre, incredible, and it's all true.
Also, the termites ate the Eiffel Tower. That's a problem. And it made us all thumbs.
That one's great. They were just like, what can you do with Photoshop? Go for it.
I mean, in 2005, they had Photoshop, an early version of it.
Man, it's weird that 2005 is old.
I know, right? Oop. I was using Adobe Photo Deluxe way back in high school, which for me was in the 90s.
Adobo?
Delicious.
Why did my light shoot off? It's not good. There we go.
I don't know.
This is bad.
Anyway, I think you want to Oh, there we go. We're a mess. All right.
Adobo. I was using adobo too.
Wah, 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 wah. This episode was directed by Valerie Weiss, who last directed Ad Astra per Aspera, and was written by David Reed, who last worked on Wedding Bell Blues, and Bill Wolkoff, who last worked on Shuttle to Ken Forey, which means it's time for something trivial for the first time in this episode. Now, Keith, waste your time.
What?
With trivial trivia. All right. So in this episode, guess what? We find out that Commander Pelia is officially at least 5,000 years old, which is, impressive. She looks great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She looks great. She might have been there for that apple.
That apple's still perky.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. I think that's gonna be the new. Every time you say something weird and unnecessarily thirsty.
Well, we got a request this week for a sound bank edition, which I did do. So I'm gonna have to add the wah-wahs, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what that is. I look forward.
Well,
to it
I at one point I thought Varel had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I said something which I didn't know because I was just watching in free form. And one of our patrons said what I said was funny, so I had to go back and find it. And apparently, what I had said is he was looking for Varel, and I just said this:
dead as hell.
Dennis Hale?
Dead as hell, but with some sort of a southern accent. Because I was like, oh, Varel is dead as hell.
He's dying as hell.
So that made it to the soundboard. We have our first edition in a while.
Dead as hell.
What does... All right, Mike, you might have to mix in some more phenomenal, flawless accents throughout the show.
Let's not forget, this is still up there.
I am dude. Yeah, well, look, but at least that's an accurate Dutian.
This is Blanche
accent.
Dubois giving you
dead as hell.
Dead as hell.
He's dead as hell. All right.
Dead as hell. All right. Well, Kirk is the first officer of the USS Farragut, which is named after Admiral David Farragut.
Please stop.
An officer of the U.S. Navy during the American Civil War. Farragut is famed for coining the, quote, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Were there torpedoes in the Civil War? I don't know. This aligns with Kirk's command style of rushing into dangerous situations when the outcome is uncertain. Of course.
No. Torpedoes are Cold War era things, aren't they?
Well, torpedoes are usually for like submarines
Right.
and such. But it's possible that we appropriated the term torpedo for submarines when it meant something else in like medieval warfare. You look it up. I'm just curious. So when Pelia is digging through a chest searching for old telephones, of which she has very many of, it feels like an odd thing to pack. She hands Dr. Mbenga an Atari 2600 with wireless joysticks. Of course, some great 80s stuff. What do we find there, Mike?
They go all the way back. It's also as a term used for stationary mines. So I guess that could have been during the Civil War. They could have had mines of some sort, although I don't know.
I'm curious.
I don't want to get sidetracked here.
Okay, all right.
Somebody, you know what? We have a whole crack team.
Smart. Here's my catchphrase. Somebody smarter than me, put it in the comments, and then we'll know. And lastly, there's a great Easter egg in this. I have to go back and find it, but apparently, you can see a TARDIS.
Really?
In all of the scrap junk in the ship.
That's clever.
So of course, and
what, Pelia scrap junk, or like some of the junk that's
no,
inside
in the junk inside the hungry ship, the hungry hippo. But yeah, so that, and of course, we've seen the Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen lots of nice little Easter eggs, but that was fun. Also Theoretically. Also fun are our special guest stars, including Paul Wesley back as James Tiberius Kirk, Carol Kane as Pelia, with the co-stars as Adam Chan as crew member, Linnea Curry Roberts as medical ensign, Zoe Doyle as Captain Varel, Rong Fu as Jenna Mitchell, Joanne Leach as Ensigner Maurer, and Paloma Nunez as Alvarez. You want to know who we would keep forever? No matter how limited our space may be, we would keep each and every one of them.
That would be the patrons, Keith. And most of them are on this page. There's a Hall of Fame, but I don't do that Hall of Fame on this show because
apparently not.
It requires porting over 2 slides, and I've not done that.
Oh God, that's almost 19 seconds of work, buddy.
But these friends are the friends who listen to us make off-color jokes.
But hold on, I built it, so this is a slideshow, buddy, with everything.
I know, but you built it for my laptop, Keith, and I haven't imported the new file into my PC yet.
Man, I made it so easy for you.
I know, I will do that right after the show is over. That all said, these friends are the friends who, despite all of this nonsense, still give us a little bit of money every month out of their tight budgets that we all are experiencing right now, and we really appreciate it. It helps us offset some of the time. You know, Keith and I both have actual jobs, and we still shoot a jillion shows and edit them and do a lot of watch-alongs. And those watch-alongs you can join me on. Sometimes they're streamed live. Sometimes it's just me chilling in my PJs in the living room. Womp, 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 womp. And you can join all of that for the low, low entry price of $1. But let me tell you, if you have more than $1 that you'd like to give to creators on the internet, you can do that all at patreon.com/K&M. Please spell out the and.
Please indeed.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. You guys that's definitely
guys,
on.
we're going to have to hear this call live on the air. Who is it? What's happening?
I think it's the filter guys.
Ooh, the filter guys.
I'm going to have to turn on my focus.
Have you started getting the endless phone calls when people wanted to buy your house?
Yeah, or like your home warranty is about to expire, or your mortgage protection is just.
Oh, it's like we want to buy your house for cash.
Do you know I made an old school mistake? Tangent alert.
Nothing but tangents.
Big old school mistake. So I took my mom to lunch last week, and
such a classic mistake.
First of all, we went to an full Italian 3-course dinner at 3:30 p.m. I was like, I thought we were going to get sandwiches or something. Mom's like, how about this? How about luchettas? And I was like, okay, it's 3:30. But anyway, so we're leaving there, and I'd been talking about how I've purchased her 2009 Honda, and it only has 90,000 miles on it. And
great.
Running great, but it's so old that it's like the actual car itself, not the engine, the car itself is disintegrating. Like the rubber is all dyed, and there's no sealing, and so I'm getting to that point where I'm like, am I gonna have to just put money in to just have this thing be usable? Should I just buy another used car, get something from, there's a lot of calculations while I'm broke. Anyway, she's like, well, let's just drive into the Honda lot. Let's just look at the used cars, which is fun. And I was like, oh, she was interested in doing something. So we're driving through. This guy steps in front of the center of the screen of the street and won't let me get past. He's a sales guy. And I'm like, we're just looking, man. We're not buying anything. He's like, all right. Anyway, this dude, we bought the car there. From my license plate, was able to get my phone number and has been calling me nonstop.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just freaking Honda. All these calls.
I have a solution.
Oh, block.
Answer.
Oh. And be
answer the phone.
Stop calling me.
All right, you be him. I'll be you.
All right. Hello, Mr. Deglio?
Wah, wah, wah.
Freaking nailed it. Oh. I won't give it away, but I am. All right, let's just roll.
Okay.
We call that a transition, buddy.
Ooh. Oh my God, we're so good at this. Yeah, we're such professionals.
No, we're not, because I didn't put the screens in. Come on now.
That tracks. Yeah. That tracks.
Oh man, we are freaking nailing it.
Oh boy, what a great episode.
Okay.
All right, there we are. There's the Farragut.
We're going to open with the Farragut here. And James T. Kirk, if you will, Keith,
Tiberius.
giving us that personal log from the Farragut. We're talking about exploration, but he's talking about real action. It sounds to me like our boy is bored as hell.
It's bold as hell.
You want to flip through, bro, or?
Don't worry about it. I got you.
Okay, I'm
got you, boo.
so used to doing that part. We also meet Captain Varel, who's an Andorian, who's commanding the Farragut. Kirk is her.
An Andorian, you say?
What's that? Or Vulcan, excuse me. Oh, I said that. And Kirk is operating as the first officer, which is kind of a fun flip on the dynamic that we get to see. And we're just doing, believe it or not, just a routine planetary mission. And then we're just scanning when a massive gravitational beam blows out from the planet, nearly tearing the ship apart. We got explosions. The crew is thrown everywhere. Alarms blaring. And we see Ms. Varel critically injured. So Kirk is all kinds of flabbergasted.
She's a Bolian, right?
What's that?
She's a Bolian?
I'm going to have to hear this now. Anyway, Kirk's shaken, but has to step into that chair as we fade to black.
Now, I have to say, like, the visuals of them, like, blowing up half of the planet were amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was really exciting.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please.
I'm a little unclear as to what they're taking from the planet. So they're like, they blew up the planet to like suck out some sort of a resources, but like, I'm not sure how that ship like eats it. Are they going for minerals? Are they going for energy? I'm just not sure how they're like, I get how they're consuming the ship, but
Right.
How are they consuming the planet?
The planet bit of it was confusing, especially since I had just seen Fantastic Four, and the spoiler alert, the big baddie of that movie is Galactus, which is a planet that eats other basically a planet that eats other planets, which is very similar to this vibe. So, yeah,
I rode an elevator with her once.
the scrapping makes a lot of sense. The planet of it, but they don't really talk about the planet of it much past this.
Right. So don't worry about it.
Anyway, the Enterprise responds to the distress call of the Farragut, and there's a boarding team. We got Spock on, Scotty's there, Chapel. You know, it's our normal crew.
And Uhura.
Yeah, and Uhura.
And we're gonna find out as soon as La'an beams out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody left that Kirk is working with is going to be part of his crew eventually.
Except for Chapel.
Yeah, no, Chapel's on the show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, Chapel's a regular part of the original series.
Oh,
buddy.
that's great. But Keith, what I loved here made me chuckle is comms are down. Believe it or not, comms are down.
Of course.
So,
Comms
but
are...
Spock does the right thing, and he's like, "Go do what we got to do anyway." So they gotta get some medical people going. They got to figure out what's going on. Scotty's got to go like fix the ship single-handedly. Now, in your cupboard, Keith, the little rubber stuff you buy to like keep the utensils from sliding.
Keep the plates. Yeah.
Or when you change the filter in your like air filter machine, this is what is wrapped around Varel's head.
Yeah, it's remarkably good for stopping Vulcan bleeding.
Yes. And it turns out that she needs to get beamed off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
She got critical brain.
Dead as hell.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves Kirk, who's going to have to stay behind and make sure we get everybody off. We fix up what we can fix. We can download all of our sensor logs out of there, get everything out. And so Kirk
clear
has
the cache.
clear the cache. Yeah. And Kirk's gonna have to be in charge. And we also what he knows. All he knows is that it had to be a giant gravity beam type of weapon. To which Pike is like, can't be. But Kirk goes, I know, but it is. And this is a great little conversation between the two captains at this point.
And it's interesting to see. I mean, obviously, the like meta story of this is Kirk's like maturation as a leader, because he's coming in all hot and heavy and super cocky.
Yes.
And and Pike demonstrating the slightly more seasoned captaining of it all.
Yeah, and I guess I could have mentioned it in that sort of in the intro. Basically, Kirk has all these ideas about how they need to get boots on the ground. And right after the Captain Varel is like, nah, we're not going to do that. The planet gets blown up. So we see from early on that he is a little
would have gotten everybody killed.
Yeah, he's a little cocksure.
But the plan is just a rescue mission at some point. But uh-oh.
Yeah, it's coming for us. It's big. It's blowy uppy.
Yeah, so it's this crazy looking ship, like designed to look like a monster.
Yeah.
Like it has literal teeth.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't love the design of the ship. I like the idea, the whole concept of the baddies here and the way it all plays out.
It's basically Pac-Man.
It's Pac-Man, it's Galactus, it's later on the kind of vibes I get from the onboard friends is very BioShock. You ever play BioShock, Keith?
No. But
you're an Xbox guy now. You got to play BioShock.
Okay.
Oh, it's a classic must play.
Okay.
The guys are absolutely designed or modeled after the big daddies of BioShock in this episode. Have to be. Anyway, the design to me is a little hokey. It feels.
Well, here's how I justify it in my head. Right, because obviously, like, in space or whatever, like, none of this is necessary.
Right.
But
especially on the fringes of outer space, right?
On the fringes of outer space. But why are they hanging out on the fringes? Because they don't want to go head to head with a Federation or the Klingons or people who are like big enough to attack them. Because they're just that one ship. However, what keeps them safe is the intimidation factor
of like pirates.
Everybody is scared of them, and they're like this boogeyman out in the on the edges of space. So the more terrifying they can look, perhaps it builds to their sort of like scary concept, and so they're designed to look like a predator.
I guess I don't object to the utility of that and the sort of lore of it, and the next scene actually expresses the various different lores across cultures. It's just the actual CGI of it leaves. I think the machinations of the ship when we see it internally, kind of churning things up, I think is cool. It's just the outer look. I don't know, just didn't do it for me.
Huh. I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I didn't hate it, but it does look
a lot like Alien.
It does look a little bit like Alien, and that's 3/4 of Strange New World is cribbing from Alien. So, but there is this cool sequence as it sucks in the Enterprise.
Yeah, right through its mouth. It's very Moby Dicky, like just kind of eats the whale, swallows the Enterprise, and there's some cool lines, and he's giving us great Kirk face here.
Big eyebrows.
And there it is. There's a great shot of the ship getting sucked in.
We got some like full on like Jonah and the whale.
And basically their tactic right now is to just sit still and wait and put a plan together.
I mean, yeah. Well, and Kirk wants to go all pew pew with it, and Spock's like, "No, bro,
I don't advise that.
You're don't let us get eaten." But yeah, I mean, there's so many different like reference points for this, in other Star Trek properties, because like there's an element here of the Dyson sphere. There's the finale, of course, is motion picture all over the place. But it's interesting. But I felt like this time all of the sort of cribbing from other Star Trek properties didn't feel like cribbing as much as interesting allusions to.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't hate it.
So we get to see a bit of the ship doing its work, which we're inside of the maw of the ship, and it's got these really cool umbilical cord tentacle scenarios that sort of inject into each of the ships within its grasp, and we get to now discuss what to do. And basically everything is shut down at this point. We've got no energy, we've got no comms, we've got no ability to talk between sections. We're sort of stuck inside the belly of the beast. Everyone is remarkably calm.
It's the Starfleet.
Yeah. And this scene I really enjoy. It's sort of sitting around the campfire, and instead of dismissing this idea out of hand, I guess you can at this point because we're inside of its belly, they start talking about the destroyer of worlds and this the mythos around these kind of fringe this fringe ship that feeds on other ships and resources.
You know who it is? It's the Kraken.
It's the Kraken. In fact, Scotty, in his very thick accent, once refers to it as Nessie a few times,
Right.
which is basically, it's just a mythos creature that sort of, for reasons, eats your ish up.
Yeah.
Myths don't usually eat starships as a whole, but here we go. It does act like a predator. It does sort of look like a predator. And I guess that's sort of the tantalizing mystery for a while is it a mindless resource scavenger where it's just getting things and scavenging,
is it a drone?
or is it a predator, where it's like seeking prey and attacking it?
Right. And we don't know at this point that there are even people living on it.
Correct. Yeah. But we did get swallowed, so Oh, I should also mention that the sort of hose and all the whatever is trapping the Enterprise is releasing some sort of a gas. That's bad news.
Oh, yes. So, and I'm wondering there because they do the umbilical to suck out the energy and the space goo. I bet that them pumping in the dangerous gas is to prevent exactly what we do, i.e. the people on the ship going and trying to get rid of the umbilical.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't clear. I'm assuming that's what it was. They might have mentioned it. I just didn't catch it.
So now we are checking out the scavenger ship. We're back on the Farragut, and we're trying to see. We see it's got teeth like appendages. The Enterprise is in there, and we're trying to figure out what our plan here is going to be.
And we can see that it's got stuff it's scavenged from all over the place in its stomach, which is going to come in and play a key role because there's a big old Klingon battlecruiser in there.
Yes. I can't recall. Help me remember. Man, I watched this yesterday and I've already forgotten what Kirk's initial plan is here.
Well, he doesn't really have one. I mean, at this point, he just needs to get the ship to catch up with it so they can do something. So he's pushing Scotty to get the engines up and running faster than is reasonable. And Scotty's like, this is not going to work.
He gives him the Titanic, the Barrett.
He's too aggressive.
He's pushing it too fast.
Damn those torpedoes, which are apparently as old as time.
Yeah, Civil War at the very least. I appreciate how much Spock is level-headed here. We've seen him be emotional and erratic throughout the show as he's young Spock, but here he started, with Kirk, he is starting to find his sort of advisory, even keel suggestions and stuff. You see they flirt with the original or the TOS dynamic between Spock and Kirk here, which I do enjoy.
Yeah, and it's obviously setting up where we're headed. And there is something interesting about seeing both Proto Spock and Proto Kirk here, because Kirk obviously overconfident, underconfident, but Proto Spock is in relation to Kirk, who is very emotional, turning off emo Spock in relation to Kirk. Whereas with Pike and everybody, Pike is he's got his ish together for the most part. So it allows Spock the breathing room to be more emo.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's calibrating how emotional he is based on the other people counterbalancing the commander.
And this is one of the first times, like Keith mentioned earlier, where we get to see our original crew, all together with a mission, which is basically figure out a way to get Pike and the Enterprise out of this monster belly.
Okay, so I'm looking it up here. The Latin root of the word torpedo is actually to be numb or paralyzed. It also referred to an electric ray, the electric eel, essentially. In the 18th century, it was adopted for naval mines. So there were naval mines back in the 1770s.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So our understanding of it as an underwater pew-pew actually goes back as late as the as Civil War. Here we go.
Stand corrected.
Oh, well, there we are. Me too.
Um. Yeah. I mean, we talked about all this kind of stuff. They're figuring
Yeah.
out what to do here. We're trying to make a plan. Scotty's like, I could get the energy flowing again, and this is where he kind of is just. I remember Kirk being a little bit erratic here. He's just
Well, yes. Well, also, I'm pointing to the screen. Guys, this is really helpful if I point to my screen because you can really see what I'm doing. But on the screen behind them here, you can see we're setting up our MacGuffin in the form of the Klingon battle cruiser that they can subsequently use as a bomb.
You know what's funny, Keith? I'm glad you mentioned that because my big question in the episode, and I went back, was I couldn't figure out what it was that Spock blew up at the end to blow up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because they don't talk, they don't say the words, they don't mention it.
Yeah, I mean
You kind of had to put that. You had to pay more attention than I did.
Well, that there is a low bar.
All right, so inside the belly of the beast, as I mentioned, there's that thick umbilical hose, which was a cool nomenclature they used.
Yeah.
That's filling the corridor. These fumes, Pike and La'an are trying to put together some sort of a defense to figure out how to get it back. And this is the first time we see our what do you call it? The baddies.
Oh, right, yes. So, yeah, I'm behind on the screenshots here, but here's where Kirk pushes Scotty to go unsafe.
Turn the Titanic to full speed.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah.
No possible downsides.
We're all just trying to figure out what the freak to do. We can't move the ship because we can't coordinate with anybody.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is important. So, like, we can't fly the ship, but we know that we can manually.
But
we
can't do
it
that
until we get the umbilical out.
Yeah, and we have comms. We need to figure out a way to have comms.
We gotta have comms and the umbilical. Yeah, there it is.
So we set all the pieces up. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to figure out at this point. And Pike is just like, I want to go fast. I want to fly. I want to pew pew. I want to do all these things. And Spock's like, I don't think it's a good idea.
And of course, it fails. And so he's the engine blows up, and now he realizes, oh, I blew it. And then Kirk has a colossal collapse of confidence here.
Yes, but what I did appreciate before the fallout is how great Scotty lets him have it.
Yeah,
like he freaks out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to listen to Scotty.
At least they didn't blow up.
That would have ruined our prequel that's coming up.
That's true. So so this scene, we got to talk about it a little bit. So the long and short of it is that they're all like, wow, he really is in over his head. We're kind of sitting ducks right here. Should we pull the 25th Amendment? And which they'd have every right to do. Not that anybody's got any better ideas, but at least they're a little bit more risk adverse. And it's Uhura because he let her do the musical thinking in that one episode.
Right.
Who's like, nah, you know what? Let's give him some time. Let's let him mature. And my issue is that we don't have a lot of time. We're just gonna let him maturate. That's our plan.
Oh yeah, like Kirk crashing out by himself feels bizarre and indulgent at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like there's a little bit of a false reaction here, because what Kirk did was only sort of like a calibration error, right? He's like, let's go when we're at 20% safety, when the right call would have been wait till 30%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's reaction and his reaction to the mistake that he makes a mistake, right? But it feels like everybody's reaction to it, including him, was way out of scale for what actually happened. I feel like there would have been a better beat here had the mistake killed somebody, right? Because there are big giant stakes in the larger story here, but the stakes for what actually he had the crash out about were pretty low. Nobody died. They just got delayed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stuck out to me was Uhura's like, we just need to give him time. And I'm like, we don't That's not a luxury we have.
Well, that's a mistake. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's honestly the thing that I think Kirk really messed up the most was taking all of this time crashing out.
Well, yeah, what would have happened had it just feels indulgent on his part, but what would have happened if Spock hadn't intervened? So anyway, I guess that's where we're going, right? Spock steps in and I guess has a heart-to-heart with Kirk, but basically he tells him a fairy tale, which is the title of the show, about the shallot who ate its tail.
Well, that's in the looking for the weakness in the monster. It wasn't like a buck 'em up thing, I don't think, was it?
Well, that's they happen kind of one and the same, right?
It's all in the same conversation.
Yeah, because he's what does he say? He's like humans thrive on instinct and adaptability, and he can't deny his instinct. He just has to be able to adapt and be a little more that kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
Harnessing
balancing
fear,
out.
I guess, is the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is the whole Kirk journey. So I really dig this scene. This is where we meet the big daddies. Keith will get that reference in 6 months when he plays the game I'm mentioning. La'an and Pike take them on 1-1. We lose a red shirt friend,
Of course.
who gets blowed up. And I believe this is the scene where Pike is almost murdered. Yes.
He almost dies like 6 different times.
Yeah, but like he comes to
right.
he comes in direct contact with the big daddy.
Yeah, I think that's later.
Oh.
Well. But yeah, the big daddy decides not to kill him for reasons we'll find out about later.
We're not sure. But I think their design is really cool.
Interesting tech that like eats the energy from the energy weapons, which that's tech that would be useful in all of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's real. It's real ambiguous. We don't know what kind of creatures they could be or what they are.
It's a cool battle.
Yeah. Now we have to remember we had planted the seeds that we didn't know how to wire the ship. Well, we get to see, first of all, amazing set design of Pelia's storage locker room.
Hoarded.
They try to do some comedic beat about the 1980s, which I wish was funnier to me than it was.
Look, we lived through the 80s. Yeah. It's not comedy. That's just life, baby.
This gave me very much the vibes, positively, of back in the day when you're a kid, like a teenager, and you roll into like the Halloween Adventure, and you're just like playing with all the props and the costume stuff, or when you're doing a play and you get to go into the prop shop and look at all the cool stuff.
I will say this moment that is on the screen right this very minute might be the funniest thing that's ever been on Strange New Worlds.
Yes.
And it literally made me laugh out loud when she picks up the phone and asks, "Is this a personal massager?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, "Is that a dildo joke?"
That's 100% a vibrator joke, and I laughed out loud. I thought that was hilarious.
There's something always funny and interesting about really advanced people. It's like people with warp drive looking at a 56.6K modem and being like, "What?" And that's ostensibly the beat here, right? Pelia realizes we're going to strip the copper wire from the ship, we're going to go old school, and we're going to communicate with low voltage telephones. Great sci-fi vibe. I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, super fun, great. I don't know why she, of all of her 5,000 years, not only saved 1 telephone, but saved 3. Unclear. But it is circling back. I just like to know that there are still personal massagers in the future.
Yeah. And Ortega's clearly well versed on them.
And who isn't? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah.
So now.
Oh yeah. So now Kirk is crashing out.
We're doing the.
So he's like trying to like reassemble a chessboard while the Enterprise is being eaten.
It does have vibes of that episode on Deep Space Nine where remember when Sisko's going after Eddington and he's crashing out and he's all pissy and because he can't, the personal vendetta mission.
And yeah, I just feel like this whole thing as a rewrite, if Kirk had cost somebody close to him their life, right? That would make all of this make sense. So if Kirk had like an assistant who like he looked up to him and he was all like cocky, like, let me show you the ropes, kid, ba 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 ba, and then because he pushed the engines too fast, something blew up and killed his assistant, and then he were dealing with like, oh, this isn't conceptual anymore. My decisions are actually life or death, and I can see my intern here's like bloody corpse at my feet, and now I've gone crazy. That would make this make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're harping on his reaction or his behavior here, and it's really not even that. It's just that the scale of time of each thing doesn't quite work for me. Like,
it's a little unclear.
This interaction here, because the gumption with which Kirk exits this room and goes back to the crew is so reinvigorated, it doesn't seem proportional to what this conversation was. The whole thing just is, the balance isn't right. I would send it back to the writers and be like, just let's work on the balance of this.
Yeah, fine tune the motivations here, fine tune the timeline, fine tune like, you know, what is motivating this? What gets you into it and what gets you out of it, and make those clearer and with higher stakes, I think.
Right. And once again, same with the balance. Is it what is his revelation here? Is it something Spock said? Or is it just the time he needed to process? Like, it's not clear.
It's a little muddy, and as we get into sort of the end, I also feel like it's a little trite. There's a little bit of like Spock's speech here and his way out of it and the way people treat him. It's a little Sesame Street, and it just needed a little bit of a more mature hand on this motivation turn.
Yes, which I think plays into one of my criticisms, which we'll actually get to in this next scene here. So Kirk comes out reinvigorated. He proposes this first of all, he apologizes, which is nice.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That part I thought was great.
I do, despite my actions, I do care what you guys think, and I want to hear about it. But before I hear about it, let me tell you my plan. I got a trap. Let's modify the sensors to project false signals of resource density, right? So that we can bait the scavengers to overcommit, and then we can dump the plasma, detach the sections, and wiggle free. Wiggle the Enterprise free.
And temporarily disable the ship so that we can then blow up the bomb inside.
Scotty initially balks that'll fry half the relays, and then Kirk says we'll then fry them. And then he sits tall in his chair after that, and you can tell that things have changed. And go
ahead.
So this, I just want to, because this will be one of my criticisms. And this is a me thing.
Wormhole.
It's not even a wormhole, but it's just a me thing. It made me kind of realize the few original series episodes I've watched probably the first 4 or 5 now, plus some scattered others in my rewatch here. One of the things that just makes it work, a lot of the like ham-fisted technobabble or just the sort of cheese of it, what makes it work is just the sheer, say what you will about I'm so lost because I'm watching it from the future in the sort of caricature that we've built around Shatner. But the truth, this simplified truth remains. The man, every pore of his body exudes charisma.
Yeah.
And magnetism. Whether he's over the top, whether he's grounded, and let me tell you, in a lot of these episodes, he's very grounded. It's not that it's a character. I think it's excellent. And not to put past Nimoy's charisma. All of them have charisma, but Shatner specifically, just it's this magnetism you can't escape.
There's a stridency.
Yes.
To Shatner's Kirk.
So when he gives you the plan, you're like, let's effing go. This is what's lacking here for me. Now, I don't want to put it on the actor specifically. It could be, like you said, the trite plan. There's not a lot of motivation here. But when he gives this command here, this new invigorated command, it's clear to me they were directed, the crew here, was directed to respond as if, I'm trying to give an analogy people would know, like General Patton had come.
Right.
And just giving them the order, right?
Like Obama just finished the convention speech.
Yeah,
and you're like, run through a wall!
Run through a wall. And I am not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. And I can't, I said to Keith last night, I was sending him texts. Initially, I was placing it at the feet of the actor.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's premature. It's way too much to put it on him. But I do not feel that magnetism from his leadership just yet. And maybe that's what the maybe we're still fledgling, and that's what it is.
No, and I think you have isolated why the scene felt a little Sesame Street to me, because the reactions weren't earned.
Yes.
Right. So in fact, with this whole like storyline, his reaction to what happened didn't feel earned. People's anger about what he didn't feel earned. His crash out didn't feel earned, and then his recovery didn't feel earned. It felt, as an actor, right? There is no emotion, no performance that you can give that is too big if it is earned, and there is no emotion that is too small that isn't, that's going to work if it's not motivated. And it felt like it was and give us more. Okay, we got it.
I think this is what you were saying earlier. Kirk often makes these very like instinct-based cocksure plans, right? And we just go for the ride with him. The only sort of difference here is that we have the crash out that we don't usually have.
Right.
I don't know. It's a bit of a mess.
It felt a little play acty.
Like we moved Hell and Earth plot wise to get them isolated together as a crew, and I just thought there would be more.
Yeah. Just needed more. Yeah. Just needed more.
But you know who doesn't ever need more is Christopher Pike, and so we should follow up where.
Well, and I think that is kind of where the contrast between
we see
the
that at the very
two
end. Yes, agreed.
Felt very like we went from like the matinee to the evening performance.
Right. Yeah, Audrazon. Oh, this is that beat where Pike is not killed. They're still working around here. Pike is not killed. He doesn't know why it didn't kill me. But they do come up with a plan here that they're going to
get the umbilical
out and do so with a bit of a bomb.
Right. They're gonna
poison it. Right? They're gonna overload it
yeah.
with this dangerous byproduct that will force the host to react. So now we juxtapose with what we had set up. We got the phones, Keith.
Yeah. So they're basically like a tank tread. One side controls one tread controls the other tread, and that's how they're going to move the ship. But
it's a cool spin on. We often get to I've got to go manual, and you got to do the manual piloting. This is a really cool, fun, and the way they visually, the aesthetic of it.
The triple shot on Star Trek, that's a new one.
Yeah, and then with the thing moving past, I could see where it wouldn't work for some folks. It worked for me. I thought it was fun and like a really cool solve. Now we got Kirking against this video game character on screen, which is very intimidating. So I guess.
I mean, I buy it because I can justify why they would make this like bold aesthetic choice in space when none of this matters.
So, we've been able to communicate with the ship now, so the whole plan is coordinated. We're going to do the point. We're going to get as long as Pike can get the thing out, we can poison the thing. That'll give us just enough time to use the phones to coordinate the wiggle fly. And we get a cool montage here where the whole Rube Goldberg of a plan is coming together.
And we, I mean, old school joysticks.
Yeah, we're getting the whole thing. And we're getting to just flex how many different little sets and different things we have.
Yeah, so the racing on the clock here, they're flying out. So we have another reference when they have to decompress one of the, not a shuttle bay because that was the solve, but that's a reference to a next gen episode. Was it Cause and Effect, where they have to decompress the shuttle to push the ship away from something fast, so they get out of the side. So
that's a cool shot.
Lots of little Easter eggs here to other Star Trek properties.
It's a cool shot when the Enterprise finally gets out
Great
of there.
Shot.
But that still doesn't change they find a blood trail, which is interesting.
Right.
Where
right.
More little breadcrumbs.
Because we wounded the BioShock guy.
So we discover that our weapons aren't going to have any. We know that our weapons aren't going to have any effect on the alien ship. But Spock has an idea, Keith, which Mike had missed entirely, but luckily Keith did not. There's a giant gaseous bomb bubble inside the ship, and Spock blows the hell out of it.
They blow up the because the Klingon ship, it's got its own nuclear reactor or something in there that they able to blow it up from the inside. But wait, there's a twist.
We learned there are 7,000 lives lost. But Keith, the sensors are showing us an anomaly.
More than that, yeah. So when we see our Bioshocky guy,
It turns out they are human lives.
that is a human person on this ship.
Explains why they were reticent to kill Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Pike.
Yep, Pike. Sorry. The lines are blurring for all. And we're going to learn why in a pretty cool debrief, kind of very Fallout sort of alternate history type of thing.
Yeah, well, it's like it's Fallout. There's a little of curse you monkeys, damn dirty ape.
Yeah. Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes as well. And we also find out that they 7,000 people. They're all out in there, and they can we save them? No, we can't save them because our transporters are dead.
Yeah. So the long and short of the alternate history is like Earth's mission when global warming and stuff wasn't working is we sent out these people to go seek assistance out in the cosmos, very much like was the Enterprise or the Starfleet, idea.
Right. Early,
and somewhere along the lines in the future, as they went farther and farther into space, they couldn't sustain themselves, so they had to start scavenging and become pirates, and whatever turned them, I don't want to say evil because they were just trying to get by, but into planet destroyers / scavengers is they don't really get into the weeds of it. So
yeah, but it's us. So it's a slight twist on the whole V'ger thing, where it's our own technology coming back to get us. It's a really interesting concept.
And what's cool about it, I mean, it's a neat little thing. I'd actually like to have known more about that. But also, Kirk's, in his victory of this, still killed 7,000 humans.
Sure did.
Yeah, under his
Sure
command.
did.
So
I mean,
that's...
And honestly, it's good we didn't look at it too much closer, because it breaks down if you really start to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were able to develop warp drive and a planet-killing machine, but didn't think to, call home.
Yes,
And
but
say,
the
"Hey,
episode deals with
how's
that
it going
by...
with the humans?"
The episode deals with that by them kind of vaguely bringing up, I wonder how this all happened, in this being like, yeah, it's a mystery.
Nobody
does the research.
No, and that's fair, and that's enough. That's enough. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
knocking it, because we're not pretending like it makes sense. Our characters don't know either, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that.
Let me give you what I think they do well in this last scene. So let's remember that oozing charisma. I do believe that Ensign Mount has that, and I believe it's happening here. And in the debrief, where I think Kirk
he's oozing?
He's oozing. Kirk is searching for some sort of absolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'll never forget the episode where Cisco decides he doesn't need it. And he's like, I ain't asking for it. Don't need it.
Yep.
I stand by my shit. And that's
Yep.
kind of, and what I like is that Pike does not offer it here.
Yeah,
He's basically like, empathy isn't conditional. It's given or it isn't given, is what he says. And he stresses that leadership is not about easy wins, but it's about carrying the unbearable and still choosing empathy, which I
Yep.
thought was cool, great writing.
Yeah.
And then he calls him Captain Kirk, but it's not like a fan nod. It's more, he's like bestowing upon him the responsibility of captain. It's very metaphorical, and I think it's really well handled here. However, as Keith was starting to say, there is a tangible juxtaposition between just the vibes of Pike and the vibes of this Kirk, and the balance I wish were closer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? I'm really not trying to put him on blast, because I've said it in the previous seasons. I like him. But I kind of, like I said to Keith, was like, I really want to love this.
I feel like this version of Kirk so far, and it's a combination. It's the writing, it's the situation, it's the performance. It feels a little underfed it feels a little anemic. Like Paul Wesley looks like he could use a sandwich, and I think the character could use a sandwich too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of sandwiches necessary.
Like I mean, maybe I could use a sandwich. Maybe I need to go walk to Wawa and get myself a sub. But yeah. I mean, and I don't know. Like I don't know if it's anybody's fault. It's just sort of the situation. And look, it is really. I don't know if there's enough sandwiches in the world to get yourself to Shatner. So like it is an impossible task. It is an impossible task, and it is unfair to ask anybody to sort of try to meet that and meet our expectations, not even of actual Shatner, but the icon we have built in our collective subconscious that represents James T. Kirk. It is impossible, especially now that he's the third Kirk.
Yeah, and I think that's an important separation, because I think when you're just like, when you're doing these shows and you like, it's like in a video game. Let me give you a crazy analogy, but like it's like in a video game where you're playing as an unknown Jedi, right? Not connected at all to the stuff, the Star Wars stuff. But like you're flying your ship and you pass Vader's ship. And you're like, "Oh, cool. That's like Vader was over there."
Right.
It works when we do that. Like he's perfect Kirk when you like it's on, pops in for a second, he's in a meeting and you're like, "Oh, that was Kirk."
Right.
But then when they're like, "Hey, this could be here's the crew. Here's Kirk heading the crew up. Where's Sulu?" Right?
Well, and nobody wants to see Darth Vader crash out with a lack of confidence.
Right. I don't know. I don't know that I wouldn't like to see. I just don't think it was handled well here. Anyway, that's the episode.
There it is.
Let's pop over and talk about this.
Do some punchies.
Yes.
Punch that shit! Punch it, punch it, punch it! Just punch it, man, just punch it! Punch it, punch it, punch it!
Let's punch it.
Hit it. Yo, Adrian!
It's the Punchies!
There's some good stuff. I know Keith likes the dildo moment. I think that whole sequence, Pelia, and just she does great here. In fact, Pelia also gives a great rousing scene chewy monologue at the end, like debrief during the debrief section, 2 weeks in a row. I was waiting for her to take to camera again. She did not. But anyway, for me it's the debrief scene. I think they're able to, in that scene with Pike and Kirk, do two things, one positive and one negative for me. One, I think they're able to capture the sort of what I think Pike is supposed to be, right? Which is the sort of he is leadership and he's handing the torch off and he's the proto Kirk, and we're getting all of that here. I think that last scene is great. I think it encapsulates all of the things we're supposed to be doing in this episode, which is what is responsibility versus compassion and empathy. What is being a leader? What is being a leader who lets people in versus is an autocrat? And I think they're able to sum that all up and pass on those points in that last scene pretty well. The problem is that it renders a lot of the other parts of the episode unnecessary. Like, it does it better than all the beats leading up to it, in my opinion. But we'll get into that. So yes, I think that the meeting of the minds between the two captains is probably the best moment for me.
Yeah, I mean, so my favorite parts were obviously the personal massager joke. And, honestly, just the visual of the thing eating the Enterprise, that was awesome. Cool. Super, super fun. But I think the part that elevates the episode is the reveal of the human origin of this whole thing. And so that's where I was like, oh, this is a good episode, to like, oh, that's really interesting. And I like it. This is now a memorable episode.
Okay.
And so I like that. I got more thoughts on that, but we'll get there.
You get some stamps. Hell yeah, they are self-sealing. Here are some stamps for you.
It's crazy how in that stem bolts thing, Keith, it's very much the more you know stars going by. I just recognize
That's true.
That,
Yeah.
So we've made this criticism before about some other properties. I liked this episode better yesterday than I do today.
Mm.
And I think it's because it's one of those things where, like, so many of the ideas are cool. And I think they are symbiotic. I think a lot of the cool ideas do fit into this episode. I just don't know that there's enough tensile strength betwixt the good ideas for my liking. I really love the design and execution of the borders, the Bioshocky borders, people as humans. And that's an episode I would have loved to learn more about that and to understand their motivations and to how it got to this place. That feels like a very Deep Space Nine type of episode that we don't get here. We just kind of get the idea of who these people have been, and we don't even really know their motivations as to why they were doing what they were doing. That interaction with Kirk, we could have learned anything about them, and we don't. We get the sort of newsreel footage on the microfiche at the end, and that's more feels like an aha than, that's cool. It doesn't feel satisfying to me because I didn't get to... It looks tasty, but I didn't get to eat it, so I don't know.
Right.
The crashing out bit, which is I think supposed to be what the episode is, and like Kirk comes to understand the weight of leadership. I feel like that's not a one episode kind of thing. If we're doing that, that is a whole first 3 episodes of a different series. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
And add to that, if we're building if this is partially a origin story of a superhero, ostensibly.
Right, which it certainly is.
I better damn well want to run through the wall at the end. I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I felt like we get more leadership from Spock and Pike here than we ever do from Kirk. And all we get from Kirk is that one scene where he's like, all right, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Here's a plan that I just came up when I looked at the chessboard. And you're like, okay. It's a good plan, I guess, but it would have been better if we interacted. And like the whole point was you're supposed to learn to like lean on your crew, but then kind of don't. Anyway, I don't know. I wish I could articulate better why it's not working, but there's something not working for me. I will say I thought it was like well paced. I thought the setup is kind of cool, getting everybody off the ship and separated, and the Pelia bits were good. I just, it was a good picnic, just not a great meal. Fun wedding. Wish the food was better. 83 self-sealing stem bolts.
83.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
B minus.
Yeah. I mean, I think I had a similar sort of feel to you, where like I really liked this episode the first time I watched it, and I think it does not bear up as well as you want it to under more scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you that the Kirk of it all is a little low energy, and I think that we could have cleaned that up. And but it just in general though, I really enjoyed it. Right, like that's the thing. Like the scrutiny of the A to B to C of the Kirk story, is not. It's not quite as fulfilling, but the basic beats of it, you know, the ship eating thing coming up with the Kraken, sucking in the ship, having to rescue it with the other ship, that's really fun. The twist at the end, finding that they're humans, that's really fun too. I thought the solve was interesting and Star Trek-y, so like I really liked all of these beats, and so like I think it sounds like I'm going to be more negative on this episode than I actually am. I liked this episode, and I thought it was super entertaining. I will enjoy rewatching it for all of those reasons. Like, I want a model of the Kraken ship. Like, all that's great. I think the only thing I will add to this that I haven't sort of said already throughout the process is, so the end, right, where we realize we've killed 7,000 humans. Now, the fact that they're humans shouldn't matter, right? We killed 7,000 people, and so it is sort of speciesist to care about it more because they are humans.
Who were gonna kill us.
Who were absolutely gonna kill us. And so I think that's a cool it's a fun reveal. But that Kirk's wrestling with, oh, I just killed 7,000 people. That's the type of thing that would motivate a crash out and a crash of confidence that he went through. That makes sense. That is where I could see him needing to be alone and playing with the chessboard. Like, oh my God, I just killed 7,000 people. I can't believe the responsibility I'm carrying as a captain to make that decision. As the first officer, I advise in that decision, but oh my God, and I don't even know if that was the right call or not. The weight of this gets very heavy, very fast. Now that feels like, so like the crash out happened at the wrong point in the episode. And that's what I was looking for in the motivation that would, that, and so you're right. Maybe if this were like a two-parter, that would be okay. Now Kirk is really wrestling because like, wow, this is really what's happening. And so that's sort of structurally what feels, I'm not sure how you fix it, right? That's the solution for the episode. What are you going to like have the next episode where it's resolved, but he's dealing with this? I don't know. He's not even a main character on this show. Right? He's a guest star.
Right.
So I don't know how you solve that. But that would be, it feels like it just sort of ordered a little differently. But that said, look, the Pelia of it all and the manual and the manual flying of the ship and decompressing the whatever, cool, and that was all fun. And the joysticks, like I was fun. At the end of the day, right?
Yeah, the show's candy.
What is the point of the show? It's to enjoy watching the show, and I enjoyed watching this episode. This is like, of all of the episodes this season, this one was the most fun for me. I don't think it's the best one, but I do think it's the most fun that I had because of the mixture of the light and the dark, the sci-fi and the not sci-fi, the character work. It had all of the beats that I enjoyed. So it gets 89 self-sealing stem bolts from me. So I think if I had to rate it before we talked, it'd probably be like a 93.
Yeah.
It lost some points the more we looked at it. But I did enjoy this episode. So next week
we get the documentary episode we had talked about.
Oh, is that what this is?
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard. Well, it makes sense. So next week we'll be discussing what is Starfleet. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out.
Are they giving us a peek into what that show's gonna be? I was told I can't watch that show.
What show?
Starfleet Academy.
No, you definitely can't watch Starfleet Academy, but Starfleet is the whole organization. Academy is just how you do it. Anyway, if you would like to find out what is all of our other nonsense, you can check them out right here on the show. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/KNM. We'll be back here on Friday with a new Deep Space Nine. We'll be back here next week with another episode of this. So till then, this has been Keith and Mike Watch Strange New Show, Strange New Worlds. Wah, wah, wah. Thank you for watching K&M Entertainment. Nailed it, Mike.
If you enjoyed our particular brand of nonsense, please like and subscribe.
Oh, I won't.
Or become one of our
take
patrons
at that.
at patreon.com/KNM.
Dead as hell.